my philosophy about training aids is that what the kids really need for a training aid is more repetition, and not something that you're going to go to the store and spend 25 bucks on, or some of the stuff you see on TV, what they got the hit away or something like that. You see, I wouldn't waste your money with that. I mean, I would go what Dave Siegel did and go buy a bunch of wiffle balls and wiffle ball bats. It's just money well spent. You know, even just talking to your kids about going in the yard or going to the park and throwing the ball up in the air and catching it, that's better than any training aid you're going to buy. Or when your kid's watching TV, have them just throw the ball into the glove and catch it. You know, just work on getting a feel for the ball in the mitt. A lot of these kids have a difficult time at the younger age of even squeezing the mitt. You just got to get a little bit stronger. They got to feel the ball in the mitt, so when they're watching TV, have them, instead of, hey, you know, son, why don't you take this glove and throw the ball in the mitt while you're watching TV or during the commercials. Make sure they don't miss, though. All right, but, you know, just getting a feel for the baseball. That's a great training aid right there. You don't need to go out and spend money on stuff. Take your kid out, play catch with them. I mean, again, going back to the model I used yesterday, just playing catch for 45 minutes. I wish I would have videotaped it. It was amazing how much better these girls got just by simply playing catch. I wasn't even instructing them. I just let them go. Girls, go play catch. I'm going to watch you. I'm going to say a minimal amount. I said a minimum amount. Just watch them play catch for 45 minutes. It worked. Okay. One training aid I do like, Dave likes, are the paddles. I don't know if you have a paddle out here. I don't have a paddle with me. But they're, you can get them, they're styrofoam, or you can get leather paddles. They're just a flat, you can actually, it's like a flat board, basically, that you put on your glove hand, and you field ground balls with them. Now, this would be for the older ages. I would not put a paddle on a 6-year-old. Okay? They're still learning how to catch and feel the glove. But if you're working with the older age groups and you have a flat paddle, you have to use good position. Your hands have to be on top. You have to use 2 hands. If you don't, and you try to field the ground ball with a paddle, not a glove, the ball's going to bounce off your paddle.
You can even use that ping pong paddle.
Yeah.
You can cut it off or just have the paddle going up that way. And I have a couple of soft hands gloves where it's just a flat glove. And if you don't use 2 hands, and again, there's 2 different ways of using your throwing hand to put it over. I like the old style way. He likes the new style way. They're both good, okay? But you got to use that throwing hand the right way, okay? And if you don't, then the ball's going to go flying all over. And again, you can't let them get discouraged about that. But that's a great training aid. That's the only training aid I basically use besides tees.
A video camera is another good training aid if you have one, or, you know, all the technology, everyone's got one on their phone, but, you know, for your older kids.
I use my phone for taping our pitchers and our hitters. And then they get instant feedback, okay? And we show them what they do and what we're trying to explain to them. And a lot of pitchers say, oh, I didn't know I was doing that, even though I was telling them that, but they have to see it first. Yeah. And this is a visual generation, so if there's any possible way you could show them and you know what you're talking about and you've done your homework, then it's a great training aid.
That's going to be the key. Even the younger kids, the ones that throw, going back to working with younger kids, they're all going to, most of them are going to throw like this. They're going to short arm the ball, and you're going to talk to them and talk to them and talk to them about it, and they might not see it. Just videotape them on the phone or on your video camera and say, hey, Johnny, this is what you're doing. That's a great training aid. You can go all the way up through putting on film. Something else that I didn't really believe in, but some of you remember Angel Delgado, who was here a couple weeks ago giving a presentation with us. And he actually brought up a really good point. I'm not a big proponent of video games. I hate video games. I'm going to say it. Video games I hate them. But he was talking about the baseball video games. They actually hook up the electrodes to all the players, and they go through the motion of throwing and hitting. And I actually saw it, and okay, for your visual kids, it's actually pretty decent, where they can watch, the guys, again, I don't know the video games, but the baseball video games that are throwing and hitting, and they can watch Derek Jeter hit and throw, and it's actually pretty good mechanics. So, again, I never played video games. I'm not a big proponent of them, but if you got them at your house and the kids play them, maybe you can use that as a coachable moment and use that as a coaching tool.